What if I told you you could grow your business to over 100k in revenue in just 1 year? Well, this is exactly how we did it. So my name's David Coslett and I scaled a business to 6 figures within 12 months and built a team of 5 people around me to help me do it. Most people that I speak to struggle with marketing and actually growing their business and using strategies that work to grow revenue. So this is why we do these videos. This is why we set this channel up, to give you strategies, tips and advice so you can scale your business. Now, scaling to over 100k in revenue is a significant milestone for many people, and here's why. Most entrepreneurs, most people that start their business, they start as a hide settle for fun, enjoyment, anything like that, and they play with it. But when you get to 6 figures and you scale that beyond 100k, you now become a business on a mission. This isn't something you're just doing for fun or some extra cash. This becomes your full-time position. So the first thing you have to decide when you're looking at your business and how you can grow and scale to 6 figures is really, have you got a product or a service that solves a problem? How do you help people? And then who are those people that you help? Really identifying a niche, identifying a target audience of people you can help. That is the first thing that I would suggest that you do, and that's exactly what we did when me and my wife set this business up. So we follow a 3-part framework, okay? When you're considering communicating your message and the problem that you solve, always address the problem. Most people struggle with X, right? Most people find it difficult to do Y. Because by doing that, you're having that really clear understanding you relate to them. Okay, many people that I speak to find this difficult, so we give them a plan that they can do X, Y, Z, and it ends in success. Right? Problem, solution, success. If you can identify, clearly communicate your message in those 3 steps, more people will understand what you do. This is really important within your first 12 to 18 months because you're a startup and you're in that stage of awareness, people finding out who you are and what you do. Yes, you need a really clear message to specific people. Okay, once you've identified your problem and the target audience that you want to reach, it's then really important to break down your goals. So trying to establish, okay, what's the goal for the next 12 months? How do we break that down into quarters and then monthly? Okay, so if you look at 100 grand, right, you break that down into 4 quarters, it now becomes a lot more manageable. You then break that down into monthly targets. Okay, now you know what you're working towards each and every day. So it's really important in this first instance you set really clear, achievable goals. Lots of people talk about SMART goals. That's fine. Yeah, if you want to run that analogy, specific, measurable, time bound, etc. But just making sure you know what they are and breaking them down into smaller chunks so it doesn't feel like this overwhelming mountain that you're never going to reach the top of. The next thing that me and Abby did as we scaled this business, and probably the most important thing that I suggest you do, if you've got a couple of people that you know or someone's helping you with the business, obviously it was me and Abby, so we did it as a team of 2. If you're by yourself, it's a little bit harder, but what we did was really identify our roles and responsibilities. Okay, so between the 2 of us, it was really clear who was responsible for what. Okay, David's in charge of sales and marketing. Abby was in charge of client relations and client delivery. That was really, really clear between the 2 of us. Yeah, so Abby wouldn't be sitting sales meetings. She wouldn't have sales conversations or be trying to generate leads. That was my job. Okay, so if there's 2 of you or more, really identify those roles early doors. Okay, that will help you 10 times over because then you'll be more efficient and more effective. And then we need to talk about your service, okay, because at this point you're starting to get a few customers, right? Because you're doing the work, you're getting the activity. So we have to talk about your service and your product and your offer and really what your time is worth. Most businesses fail because they don't charge enough and they don't make enough to stay in business, okay? So you have to always continually be developing the product for the customer. Feedback is your biggest asset. Most people don't ask for feedback, okay? If you want to be successful and scale your business to over 100k, you need to ask for feedback as often as possible, as many times as you can, because that's what's going to grow your business. You develop your product or your service based off of feedback. What are people interested in? What do they need support with? How can you help them the best way? You then cater what you're doing. Okay, why do you think Apple have become so successful? Is because of the feedback from customers of what they actually wanted. right? And now we've got devices like this that are incredible in our pockets. Okay, by now we're probably 4, 5, 6 months in. Okay, now we really need to talk about marketing. When you're 6 months into your journey, you've actually got to start looking at direct, digital, fast response strategies so that you can continue to grow. Okay, you would have done a lot of this in the early days, and that's really important to get you going. And I'll do another video on how we got to our first 10K month in 60 days so you can understand that is possible. But a lot of that comes from direct marketing. Okay, I've talked about it in another video. There's 4 forms of marketing: direct, digital, relationship, and brand. Direct marketing is what you want to do in the first month, and the first, I'd say, month to 6 months and beyond, right? Because then you can start to establish what's working and what's not. So that's your direct marketing, which is fast response. That's phone calls, that's emails, that's text messages, your circle of influence, anything that's very quick. So you can get a yes or a no. Okay, then it's digital marketing. So I used LinkedIn as my playground. Okay, that's how I had the biggest impact, because the organic reach on that platform right now is through the roof. You can post a photo and you can get 1,000 or 2,000 impressions, even if you've got a couple of hundred connections. Okay, so I used that 3 times a week. I posted 3 times a week for 12 months consistently, and I continue to do that now because I'm building my audience there, and I know that my target audience is there as well, right? If Instagram is your audience, because most of the people that you deal with are on that platform, great, use that. I just use LinkedIn, so I'm talking about my experience. This is the exact framework that we used. I posted 3 times a week on LinkedIn consistently for 12 months, and now I'm still doing that to date. And then the final part of your marketing strategy within your first year really needs to be around testimonials and customer referrals. Okay, so you don't sell your product or service, your customers do, right? Testimonials are the most important thing on this planet. When somebody else shouts about the good work that you've done and how good your product is, that's your marketing. Right, that's what you need to put all over social media. You don't need to be talking about how you help them, right? You need to just show how you've helped. Does that make sense? So we're not talking about, oh, I'm great at this, yeah? The type of things that you put on your CV. No, we want other people, right? On your CV at the bottom, you have your references, right? Your marketing strategy is 10 references. That's it. It's just all the people that say that you're great at what you do. That needs to go onto social media. The amount of times that I took screenshots of emails, of text messages of people saying the work that I'd done helped them, and I posted that on LinkedIn. That's what I did within the first 12 months. Now we've got our marketing out the way, you then move into sales, okay, and customer relations. So it's really important to identify that sales process. Every business has a sales process, whether you know it or not, but it's really important you build that into a system. If you are a B2B professional and a service-based business, this is the most important piece of advice I can give you if you're watching this right now. Clearly identify your sales process. Step 1, step 2, step 3, what do they do at each stage? How do you look after them so that they ultimately end up becoming a customer? So we've got a document that really talks about our lead flow. So top of funnel, yeah, it might be a LinkedIn connection, a LinkedIn message, that then turns into a phone call. They then have a video meeting, maybe come to one of our events, we speak to them after that, yeah, and ultimately then they become a customer. That lead flow and sales process is exactly what every business needs. Client success should be your number 1 priority, and that will probably never change even when you scale from 6 to 7 figures, right? Because you always want to look after that individual. If I take you back about 10-15 years, when I was in the music industry, I was building an audience, okay? The way that you build an audience is by looking after the one individual like they've never been looked after before, and that is the most important thing you will ever do, because that fan, that client, they become your number 1 priority. They become gold, like gold dust to you. So because if they become a fan, right, a raving fan, you take them up that scale and they love everything about you and what you do, they'll tell everyone about you. That was how we built our audience when I was doing the music, because we'd get a core base of 5 or 10 fans, yeah, like mega fans, and then they tell 10 of their friends. So immediately we've just doubled our audience, right? And then you start doing that in the hundreds and the thousands, you quickly scale. And then you'll find yourself getting to a place where we need to talk about operations and scaling, which is really all about building a team. You cannot have a 6-figure business by yourself. You cannot have a 7-figure business by yourself. You need to build a team of people around you to help you grow. Most business owners don't do this. They will stay in the rat race of doing the work, chasing the work, doing the work, chasing the work. And they'll never grow from that. Okay, now that's fine if that's what you want. Okay, if you're watching this and I'm speaking to those people that actually want to grow something bigger than just them in the business, this is the right video to watch, because when you build a team, you need to look for a couple of different things. Okay, and this is going to be really important. You need to look for skills in people that you don't have. You need to look for people that are better at the work than you are, and you need to make sure that they can fill in all the gaps. Okay, because if I look at myself, okay, me and Abby, when we started the business, I was good at one thing, Abby was good at something else, but we needed better people. Okay, so I hired a videographer, someone that was better than me at shooting video, but could also then leverage my time so he could do the edits. So I didn't have to do the edits, right? Then I'm leveraging my time, so then I can focus on sales, right? Do you see that cycle? Yeah, I'm leveraging my time so I can have a bigger impact and grow the business, right? You then apply that to all the areas of the business that you haven't filled yet. Yeah, when you're a startup, you wear 100 different hats. Okay, so then we went into a place of, okay, we need someone to manage client success, right? So that's why we employed Mia, right? Mia is head of client success, and she looks after everybody who comes to work with us, because I don't always have the capacity to do things that they need, right? Social media content, liaising with client, booking meetings, booking appointments, planning projects, right? She'll look at the diary over the next 3 months, 6 months, and she'll make sure we've got dedicated time in that for planning webinars, for events, for meeting with clients, meeting internally, right? So you need someone that then helps you leverage your time. And both of those things have been able to do that. And now we're recruiting again because I need someone to then help me in sales, right? Lead generator, managing those conversations and prospects. So you have to look at your business to go from 6 to 7 figures to be like, okay, where am I really good at? What do I need to do more of? And what are the things that I'm failing at, right? Because I suck at all this stuff. Okay, I need people to do this for me, right? That's the only way that you leverage your time as an owner, as a business owner, so you can operate in the best of your ability. And then you get into all the people problems, okay? So lots of businesses fail because the leader fails the people, okay? I see it in our business. My job is to work harder for my people than they work for me. Right? So you need to make sure you've got a good culture and a good leader at the top. So you have to develop your leadership skills, right? Because if you're running your own business, you've probably never trained as a leader, right? You just wanted to run your own business. Okay, so you need to focus on the skills that you don't have. And that's okay. Be okay with that, right? A big part of our culture here is to be proactive in our learning, in our development, right? So it's okay to be like, I'm not very good at sales. I'm not very good at marketing. I'm not very good at communicating with people, right? Whatever that is for you, that's fine, okay? Now you know where you need to learn. Okay, the people that are in denial are those that think they're great at everything and that they don't have anything else to learn. Okay, you need to be proactive with your learning so you can focus on the stuff that you're not very good at. So yeah, that's the final thing I'd say on team. Culture is everything when you're building a small team, especially if you're going from 6 to 7 figures, because the new people that you bring in, they can make or break that culture. Okay, if you look at a high-performing team like in Manchester United back in the day, or Man City today in the Premier League, they're a high-performing team. They're not going to bring a low-performing player into that team, right? They just want high performers. Yeah, so you've got to think of your startup and your business in the same way. You need to have effective high performers come and join you. Right, because you're already a high performer. Okay, so the main points to recap: problem, communicate the problem. How do you solve people's problem? Make sure you've got a service that works on feedback. Make sure you start marketing with direct and digital strategies where your audience is at. Identify a clear sales process. and then look at building a team. What system have you got in place for building and scaling a team? So if you found this useful, please like and subscribe. We have free resources available on our website. I'll put links in the description. You can also go and download a copy of your 12-month marketing plan completely for free so you can get started. I hope this helps, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.